I remember when in my mother's house, in the middle of the plain, I had a window that looked onto the meadows. Far off, the wooded bank hid the Ticino, and further on there was a dark line of hills. Back then I'd only seen the sea one time, but preserved of it a sharp nostalgia as when in love. Towards evening I stared at the skyline, narrowed my eyes a little, caressed outlines and colours between my lids, and the line of hills flattened out, trembling azure, and seemed the sea to me, and pleased me more than the real sea. You see it, sister. I'm tired, tired, worn out, shaken, like the column of a straight gate at the end of a vast courtyard, like an old column that all through its life had been diked a headlong flight of a hemmed-in crowd. Oh, the imprisoned words that are beating, beating in furious manner at the door of the spirit, and the door of the spirit that bit by bit pitilessly closes. And every day the way narrows, and every day the assault is harder, and the last day, I know it, on the last day when a single blade of light pours from the final loophole in the shadow, then it will be the monstrous wave, the tremendous crash, mortal cry of the unborn words towards the last dream of sun. And then, behind the door forever closed, there'll be the night entire, the coolness, silence. And then, with lips sealed, with eyes open on the arcane sky of shadow, there'll be, you know it, peace. Venice. Silence. The tread of a barefoot boy on the fundamenta fills the canal with echoes. Venice. Slowness. At the corners of walls there blossom trees and flowers, as if the journey lasted a whole season, as if Maytime now unravelled them for me. At the well in a small square, Time finds a grass blade between stones. With that it ties its beat to a pigeon's wing, to the thudding of the oars. Oh, you truly burden my soul, poetry. You know, if I'm failing and lost, you who then deny yourself and are silent. Poetry, I confess to you who are my deep-down voice. You know it. You know I've betrayed, have walked on the field of gold that was my heart. I've snapped the grass, have ruined the ground. Poetry, that ground where you told me the sweetest of all your songs, where one morning, for the first time, I saw the lark fly in the clear, and with my eyes I tried to climb. Poetry, poetry, you that remain my deep-down remorse, oh help me, you, to rediscover my high-abandoned country. Poetry, you that give yourself only to those who with lamenting eyes search for themselves. Oh, remake me worthy of you, poetry, watching over me. I've much faith in you. It seems that I could await your voice in silence for centuries of darkness. You know all the secrets like the sun. You could make flower geraniums and wild orange blossom on the rocky depths of quarries of the legendary presence. I've much faith in you. I am quiet like the Arab wrapped in a white barkan, who listens to God ripening his barley around the house. With the dawn from sea, I'd climb by high stairs, awaiting skies bent down at the margins of the stone, and sun brimmed over the plain. Warm gashes ran in the shafts of the columns, dense veins opened with blond lymph. Temples lifted in the light like living hands, and I'd measure through airy fingers the spaces of an eternal morning. Gleams and shatters where roads divide called to the companions. To you remains this, that the wind unveils for you pale road in the night. For your thirst the tumbling torrents water, for someone tired the pasture grass renewed in the space of a sleep. Absorbed in his own fire, everyone human surrenders to a single life. But on your slow going as a river that finds no end, the serial light of infinite lives, of the free stars, trembles now. And if not one door opens to your weariness, if it's rebuffed at every step your fate is burdened, if it is yours, this that's more than pain, joy of going on alone in the clear desert of your hills, now you accept you're a poet. In Siren Howl, a flaming squadron splits the sky. Broken between houses, the bells sink down. The women appear, tricolour flags in arms. It cries courage at the wind, their blonde hair. Then spent eyes lower. In the evening they look down there on the first dead, stretched out under the stars. Like vast women, they occupy the evening. Stony hands folded on their breast, they gaze on road ends, silence in the infinite hope of return. Speechless in the womb, mature children to the absent. Sails called him down there, or battles. So earth seemed blue and red to them. Now, at a slippage of steps on the pebbles, immense they shudder their shoulders. The sky, with a start, beats its white eyelids. Mothers, and they raise their foreheads, shift the branches of stars from large eyes. Should at the lost rim of waiting an aurora be born, and at the bare belly rose bushes blow. It rained all night on the memories of summer. At dark we went out amidst a funereal thunder of stones. Still on the banks we held lanterns to explore the bridge's danger. Pale at dawn we saw swallows drenched on the wires, poised to spy out arcane signs of departure. And they were mirrored on earth by the fountains from faces undone. Lakes of wonder are spread wide at evening in your eyes, amidst lights and sounds. Slow flowers of folly open on the spirit's waters, mirroring the high peak crowned with clouds. Your blood that dreams of the rocks is a fairy tale silence in the room. Who speaks to me won't know I've lived another life, as one who tells a fairy tale or a holy parable. Because you were my purity, You with a white wave of sadness falling across your face, should I call you with impure lips? You whose sweet tears ran from the depth of eyes, if we were looking skyward, and so I seem to be lovelier to you. O you veil of my youth, my light dress, vanished truth! O gleaming in naught of the whole life that was dreamed, perhaps! Oh, for having dreamed you, my dear life, I bless the days remaining, the dead branch of all the days remaining that serve to be mourning you. And then, if it happens I go away, there'll remain something of me in my world. There'll remain a slender wake of silence amid the voices, a tenuous breath of white at the heart of azure. And one November evening, a frail little girl at a street corner will sell so many chrysanthemums, and there'll be the stars, ice cold, green, remote. Someone will cry, who knows where? Who knows where? Someone will search out chrysanthemums for me in the world. When it happens that without return I'll have to go away. Perhaps it isn't even true what at times you hear cry in your heart, that this life is within your being and nothing, and what you call light is a dazzle, the supreme dazzle of your sick eyes, and what you pretend to be the goal is a dream, the vile dream of your own weakness. Perhaps life is really such as you find it in younger days, an eternal breath seeking from sky to sky, who knows what height. But us, we're like the meadow grass that above feels the wind pass, and all sings in the wind, and forever lives in the wind, yet can't grow enough to stop that supreme flight, or leap up from the earth and drown in him. If a word of mine pleases you, and you tell me even just with your eyes, I open wide in a joyful smile, but I tremble like a young mother who even blushes when a passer-by tells her little boy is handsome. Words gloss that unfaithfully reflects my sky. I thought of you after sunset in a darkened street, when a pane fell to the stones, and its fragments at length spread a shattered light. Is there no one selling flowers along this unlucky street? And this dark sea, this gloomy sky, this hostile wind? Oh, yes, it is camellias, camellias white and red, smiling in a golden cloister, a spring mirage. Who'll sell me a flower today? I have so many in my heart, but all clasped in heavy bunches, trampled, done in. I have so many that my soul suffocates and nearly dies under their vast unshared mass. But at the bottom of the dark sea is the heart's key. At the bottom of the dark heart until evening my useless harvest will lie imprisoned. Oh, who will sell me a flower, a different flower, born outside of me, in a true garden, that I might offer the one who waits? Is there no one who will sell me flowers along this unhappy path? frail blonde reeds, like a field of wheat beside the sky-blue lake, the houses of a distant island, the color of sails ready to set off, a longing for light things and a heart as heavy as a stone inside a boat. Yet one evening it will reach these shores, the unfettered soul, without folding down the reeds, without throwing up water or air. It will set sail with the houses of the distant island for a high reef of stars. To have two long wings of shadow and fold them up against your pain, to be shadow, the peace of evening around your faded smile. Scent of green, my lost childhood, when I felt so proud on my scuffed knees. Idly I pulled up flowers, the grass alongside trails, and threw it all aside. It took up my hands, scent of woods in August at noon. When the face is burning, we tore through cobwebs, fording streams, the stone skips, the foot plunges in, ice penetrates straight to the pulse. The sun on my bare neck, light that bleaches your hair blonde, scent of earth, my lost child.